Hi, my name's Belinda Murrell and I'm the author of The Forgotten Pearl. This is my new book and it's about a girl called Poppy who lives up in Darwin in the far north of Australia during the Second World War, and her life is a paradise until one day her world is turned upside down. Japan invades the Pearl Harbor and Darwin becomes a war zone. Her brother's taken a prisoner of war in Singapore, her neighbours and family are evacuated down south, and Poppy's there with her mother in the hospital when the Japanese bomb. It's absolutely terrifying. Poppy and her mum have to flee for their lives and they come down to Sydney, but the danger follows them there. So I hope you really enjoy my new book, The Forgotten Pearl, about Poppy and all her adventures. So several years ago, my family and I decided to run away. And so we went travelling for 2 years. We went overseas for 5 months and then we travelled all the way around Australia. And we spent 18 months travelling in our trusty four-wheel drive car, and we headed up north and across the top of the Never Never. And we had the most amazing adventures. And finally we ended up in Darwin. And by the time we'd gone across all those rough, bumpy roads, the car was falling apart. So we had to spend a few weeks in Darwin getting repairs done. And I was just amazed by Darwin. It was so beautiful and the history was amazing. Everywhere you went, there was history. So we spent some time there and I just realised that even having been to university and studied history and done history at school, I had no idea about the history of our own country. And so I was inspired to write a book about this. The Second World War is all around you up in Darwin. So when I was there, one of the teacher librarians was telling me that she was doing some gardening in her back garden, digging up the garden beds, and they found a grenade just there in their back garden while they were putting in a watering system. And at the Military Museum in Darwin, they told me that every single day someone will bring in a bullet or a part of a bomb or part of a fuselage from a plane, or the most amazing things that they just find sort of washed up on the beaches or digging in their gardens. So the war is still very present up there. I also had some fantastic feedback from people in Darwin just saying how much they loved the book and how it just really brought the whole war to life for them and gave them a really good insight into what life was like for everyday Australians during the war. So the title of the book is The Forgotten Pearl, and The Forgotten Pearl is a beautiful pearl that is given to Poppy by an old Japanese woman, and there's a beautiful fable that goes with it, and it's a talisman of protection and something that is supposed to keep Poppy safe. And when the war comes, that's great, but then Poppy loses it. So let's hope the pearl can still protect her. In a lot of my books there is this ongoing theme of jewellery, and I think that's because there is some beautiful jewellery that has been passed down through the generations in my family, and my mother has a lot of it. She has the most beautiful collection of jewellery, and a lot of the pieces are heirlooms. So I guess I have this fascination with beautiful pieces of jewellery that get passed down. And to me it seemed like the perfect vehicle for a magic talisman, a piece of jewellery that's been passed down through the years that has this sort of sense of magic about it. With the Forgotten Pearl, it's not as magic as some of the other pieces, but it still is this idea of a talisman that can keep you safe or give you good luck or whatever. My next book is called The River Charm, and guess what? Of course there's a charm and talisman in it, and I guess I just like to keep this theme going, so it's a bit like a series where there's different pieces of jewellery that have some significance for my characters and perhaps symbolise things that might make a difference in their life.